I run a tree service called Great River Tree Care, and I'm planning on starting to upload videos to see if I can do the YouTube thing. I was inspired by Buck and Billy Ray. I don't know the details, but he does a lot of YouTube videos about, felling and climbing and cutting, and he spent his life doing tree stuff like I want to do, but he's figured out a way to help people along the way, and I'd like to do that as well. So I think what he does is makes money somehow off of YouTube and then gives back to his local community by taking down hazardous trees that otherwise people couldn't afford to take down, because a lot of you may know that tree care is really expensive, or it can be. Just there's a lot of machines involved, a lot of moving parts. It's difficult and it's dangerous. Even when you're doing everything right, there can still be unforeseen circumstances. I personally work by myself fairly often. I try not to, but it happens sometimes. I'm planning on doing a video about that sometime in the future. It's a rain day today, so I'm not cutting or doing anything with the tractor, or my maintenance is pretty well caught up. It's about to be my slow season, so you may see a lot of talking and just me trying to share some kind of education with people that are interested in learning about tree work and being an arborist, maybe even considering getting into the trade. It's a worthwhile endeavor in my mind. It's satisfying work. Clients are very appreciative when you get done with the job a lot of the time. If somebody thinks that their home is at risk and you're able to make that risk go away, it's just a good feeling. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about me specifically and my background. Went to, I guess when I was a kid, I grew up in rural Ohio. Nothing particularly outstanding about my childhood. It was a very good childhood. I was able to have a lot of freedom and play in the woods, and I was surrounded by a wildlife area. I had a lot of people in my life that were into natural resources, and that led me to Hocking College back in 2012, 2013, and I discovered tree climbing while I was there through some friends, and just absolutely fell in love with it. And at the time, I was just recreationally tree climbing, which seems so silly now. And I remember thinking back then, man, those guys with chainsaws that go up there, they could cut their rope, they could cut their arm. That's so dangerous. I will never do that. And then inevitably, when you know how to climb a tree, some family member, some friend is eventually going to ask you to do some cutting. So that happened. I eventually got a job doing removals with a really rough crew, and that didn't last long. They just weren't my kind of people. I still liked the work. I just decided to pursue it in a different way. I got lucky right out of college, and I landed a government contract climbing trees, not removing trees straight out of the gate, but climbing, searching for invasive species or signs of invasive species. And then after about a year of that, I was walking through an airport one day and decided, well, today's the day. I'm starting my business, Great River Tree Care, and which I'm from Ohio. I live in Ohio, and I read online somewhere that Ohio in some native tongue means Great River. So I'm a big angler. I like fishing a lot recreationally. I was a fishing guide through college. That helped me pay my way through. So that's where the name came from. I just have always loved rivers, and I thought the Ohio thing was pretty neat. So I named my company Great River Tree Care. And that was 8 years ago. And since then, I've done probably thousands of jobs. I'd have to look back and actually check, but I went through the whole contract climber thing, climbed for different companies near Cincinnati, Ohio, east of Columbus a little bit. And so that's been the path that I've been on for like the last 8 or 9 years, the better part of a decade now. And I've learned a thing or two, and I think it's time I start sharing that with whoever wants to listen, and hopefully providing some value, with the goal of maybe doing what Buck and Billy Ray did, where I can give back to my community by somehow profiting off YouTube and being able to do some free tree work for people, where I don't want to do tree work and lose my money because I'm being somewhat charitable. I would like to still be able to make money in a different way, but help out people that could otherwise not afford to take down some of these hazardous trees. So I've started a YouTube journey. I guess this is more of a practice video. I might even end up not sharing this one, but we'll see. I'm learning from other YouTubers how to be a YouTuber. But I don't see myself really ever, downloading expensive video editing software. I'd like to take a more simplified approach to that. So if you all would like, come along for the journey, and I'll let you know if I ever make that goal. Maybe I can do one of those free tree jobs before having any YouTube success, and just see how it feels, and maybe I'll make a video about that. So if you would like to come along and see if I reach my goal and am able to continue YouTubing and support my family along the way. I do have a family. I have a wife and a little baby, and they're wonderful and very supportive. And I guess my whole goal in life right now is to just take care of them the best that I can, and be, an outstanding father, and as well as a husband. So if you'd like to join me for this journey, please like, comment, and subscribe. That's what you're supposed to do, right? To get the algorithm's attention. So I'm sure this will be not my greatest video, and I'm perfectly capable of learning along the way. So my videos will get better, and if you guys want to hang with me, hit the subscribe button. Bye, friends.